me about being late again. Hello, I'm not late this time.
They're not going to get
Hi,
after you. They'll blame it on me. They always blame it on me because it's always my fault.
but you were
That's true.
here. You were here on time.
I was here before
So
you again.
that's true. You were here before me again, but I was still on time.
It's true.
So yeah, we were both talking because Alan is working on the Edan narration.
I was in I was in there today from 1:30 to like 5:45. Oh my gosh, like I'm so tired. I just hate that I gave anybody a voice because especially when like they change speakers like back and forth. I'm like, I can't switch voices that fast. So it takes me forever. And I have to, and some of it, like freaking, like, I hope, I, I haven't read further books, but man, I sure hope Norn dies because I got to read every one of his lines like 7, 8, 9 times. It's like, you're killing me, Norn. Like, I need you to just shut up. I need you to never speak again. Please, Norn, never speak again. Um, but no, it's fun. Um, I just finished a Bledla heavy chapter, which that's always fun. Those go fast. It's freaking
Oh,
Day Raven's chapters that take forever. Any chapter in Day Raven, like freaking Day Raven's chapters take 100 years, like twice the time, literally twice the time to finish. Anyway, closing in on the end goal. Almost there.
yay! Well, that's really exciting. Was I late? I wasn't late this time though. I actually
We
looked at the
started
clock.
according to my clock. We started at 6:30. So don't even
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah. Yeah. We're freaking out about the Edan narration to start out with. So Alan's pretty tired because he's been working really hard on that.
The other
I
problem is that my muscle in my arm is still weak. So like I have to like elevate my arm where like the way I'm sitting and everything. So my arm's been elevated for
oh
that long and it
no.
hurts. So I hurt right now.
Oh. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Alan has a broken collarbone on top of everything else. So
Anitha, that's what I'm saying. It's dialogue. Like it's dialogue. Sorry, more info dump, less dialogue. Yes, less fewer people who sound different talking. They all should sound like this. Hello, how are you? I'm good. I'm also good. That's what it should have been. But I didn't do that like an idiot.
well, I cannot wait. I can't wait to hear the final end product. And I'm sure it's gonna
Don't
come.
like no one get your hopes up so you don't have. And okay, so guys, when it comes out, don't send me the bad reviews, please. Like when someone hates me in it, don't send it to me. Be like, oh, dude, this guy hated you. Don't. I don't want it. Like, I don't want to know, guys. I don't want to know that some dude hates me. Like, I get it. I know. If I wanted to do that, I'd go talk with Murphy about One Piece if I wanted people to hate me. So please, like, don't.
This is the most loved Allen space ever, as we found out from part 1. I mean, you had your whole entire council here, and you fired all of them, and a lot of them are back today.
Yeah,
So
I
if
did.
that tells you about people who really are loyal to you.
That's true. I did fire all of them.
You did. You fired all of them. You even fired me. So
You're still fire. Day Raven doesn't sound like Arnold. Like I really wanted to find a place, but it's just like it's not the tone of Philip's book. So
like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I didn't really have a place to go to have like we must stop the priests from coming. There's danger. They're the Aglax. We must stop the mucus ogres.
That's a really good Arnold voice. My brother has a really good Arnold voice too. He's good at voices too. All right. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. Thank you all for the support here.
Laura,
He
you weren't here last time. If you were here, you'd know why you're fired.
Wait, who's fired?
Laura.
Oh, Laura. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Sorry
fired
about that.
too. She says she's yet to be fired because you didn't hear my firings and the reasons why I fired everybody. You're
It's
definitely
true.
fired. Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Did she better
Yeah.
be with
Her
you?
and Kyle should go freaking form a club. Her her Kyle, Esme, um
Esme too?
Esme's ridiculous.
No. You know she's gonna watch this, so
Esme's
we love you,
yeah.
Esme.
She hears me. You hear me, Esme? Ridiculous.
Esme is the
No,
best.
sorry.
I can't believe this.
Well, I didn't change any words. all of the bloopers are me being like, why can I not say this sentence? That's all the bloopers are me going, why can I not say this sentence?
That and why don't you just die, Nyorn?
Oh my god. That and Philip, this sentence is too long. I've said that like 4 times. Philip, I keep thinking it's over, and then I'm like, I didn't have enough breath for this. Philip, the sentence is too long. So I've done that too.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to hear that. So, for those of you who missed part 1, I went ahead and in the description here put the questions that we answered in part 1. I also linked the video to part 1 if you missed it. We just got carried away and an hour and a half went by and we got like halfway through the tag. Actually, we got a little further than halfway. But we're going to pick up on newest favorite character. Last time, I think where we left off was the fictional crush character one, which has always been my favorite. Every time I watch you do the mid-year freakout tag, every year, Alan's like fictional crush, 14-year-old girl.
This is literally, I mean, this tag was written by someone who is not in our corner of BookTube.
But I did tag them because
No,
we
no.
need to.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. It can't be like it just can't, like it can't be from our corner of BookTube, because none of us are 13 years old girls, and literally no one I watch on BookTube or watched on BookTube when I did that ever talked about their fictional crushes. Like no one's ever like, oh my gosh, and this guy swoon. No one ever did that. No
I
one
did
ever
that
did.
last year for All the Pretty Horses for John Grady, I think is the name of that character. Yeah,
I don't
anyway,
know about all
it
that.
doesn't matter though. Yeah, so and to be fair, the people who originally created this tag, they probably were, I mean, they're probably like in their 20s now. So if not 30s, because that was written a long time ago.
Sure.
But we are picking up on newest favorite character. And for everyone in the chat, feel free to chime in with your newest favorite character of 2024 so far. So what is your answer, Alan?
You know, this is what we ended on last time. So you'd have thought you'd think I thought of a response. I didn't. So you're going to go first while I look back at what I read and decide. These are all.
Grab a book off my shelf. Okay, so I have a couple of answers to this. One is, and I can't separate them, so I'm sorry, but it's Dunk and Egg from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms by George R. R. Martin. Have you read these, Alan? Oh, they're so fun. They're really good. They're novellas, and this is actually an illustrated edition. But I loved Dunk, the Lunk, and I loved Egg. I just love both of those characters. And of course, you get insight into more about Egg as you read on. And I guess they're making an adaptation. I don't know if that's still going on, but really great characters. So this was a lot of fun. Really good historical bits too from A Song of Ice and Fire, pre Song of Ice and Fire. And then I guess I do have another. Oh, yeah, I have to highlight Fantasy Awash is here because if it were the year I read Warlord, it would definitely be Derval. Derval's the best.
Love me some Derval. So
Oh my
there's a character, the main character of Mercy of Gods. His name is spelled Dafyd. And I looked at that and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. So I'm like, you know what? Derval's name is spelled Derfel. So I'm like, you know what? I'm calling this guy David. And I called him David because you know what? That F is a V. Because I'm not calling him Daffyd or Daffit. I'm not doing it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, Dave, let's go, David. He is not my favorite character from that, nor am I most like him. The character I am most like made me sad that I'm most like that character. Every time that character did something, I'm like, man, that's what I would do. I don't like that. My favorite character is, I really like the Swarm from Mercy of Gods. There's an entity called the Swarm that
cool.
is very, I can't say anything else about it other than it's interesting. And the aliens, man, like the freaking like librarian, and but I don't know. Y'all got to read Mercy of Gods. But also I really like, anybody else? I read a bunch of historical fiction, so I can't really say like, oh, it's Claudius. It's Germanicus. who is the brother of Claudius, who was supposed to succeed Emperor Tiberius, but was poisoned. Um, but he died so early, and before he kind of rose to power, he was really, really popular, but he's never really made a character in anything. Like Germanicus is never a character in anything. And I thought Robert Graves did a really good job. Like Anitha will attest. Like Germanicus he was my favorite character in that by far. Like he's so good. And it's the first time I've really seen Germanicus characterized, really, besides just being told that he's popular. And my fictional crush would be Germanicus too, Anitha, for sure. Oh, Philip, is that really how you pronounce it? So it's David? Or David? Is it David or
David or David?
I mean, David sounds dumb. David sounds more. Okay. Well, I'm calling him David. So
David. Cool. I have another one that I'll just go ahead and mention too, because I have a hard time deciding, I guess. But there's a character named Elaine. I think that's the right character name, who's introduced in Grand Conspiracy by Jenny Wirtz. Female character. I really love the female characters. I actually love the female characters more than the male characters in the series, even though
nice.
it's very male, character dominated. But I do love the female characters in this series so, so, so much. And there was one that was introduced in this book that I just really grew attached to. Actually, a few that I really grew attached to. So excited about that. And I am excited to pick up Claire in the Sun hopefully this year. So I'm glad to hear that. A lot of good choices here. It wasn't Alara, because Alara was introduced in previous books, and we're just talking about characters that are new to us this year. I think it's Elaine. I think that's her name. I want to say it's Elaine, but I could be getting the name wrong. I'm probably getting the name wrong, Philip. So I'll correct that later. Yeah, actually, Jenny Wirtz does her own artwork. So this is her own painting, and I love this cover. You could see like a spooky person in the back there. Isn't that cool? Love it. I just wanted to share that. So yeah, Jenny Wirtz's artwork there. But yeah, a lot of good characters. I also finished in June. I finished Hyperion by Dan Simmons, and I don't know. I guess this kind of is a character-driven story. A lot of sci-fi I would not consider usually as character-driven, but there are a
What's the
lot.
best story from that one? What's the
What
best
was
story from that book?
Oh, I think the priest one is my
There
favorite.
we go. That's the right answer, Joanna. That's the right answer. Well
Right
done.
answer.
Well
What is
done.
the priest? Yeah.
The priest tale is so Lovecraftian. Like it reminded me so much of a Lovecraft story. I love the priest tale. So good.
So good. It's so good. Yeah, some of them might hit me more than others, I would say for
That's because
sure.
some of them are better than others. So
Yeah.
it's not just a personal thing.
What was your least favorite? Do you
uh,
remember?
so I don't like all of the plug your ears. Anybody doesn't want to be spoiled for the soldier story. Um,
Oh, that
I don't like all of the boinking that goes on in the soldier story. I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
And the detective story
Same
is
here.
also mid.
Those were my least 2 favorites too. Those
There
were
you
my
go,
least 2
Joanna.
favorites
We
too.
have an accord. Look at that. The
Yeah.
scholar, the scholar is most people's favorite. There are few discerning souls who like the priest the best. The scholar is very good.
Mhm.
It's exceptional, but
Yeah.
I love the way the priest story is told.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved the priest story. I loved it. I just immediately, like, became immersed in that particular storyline. So, yeah, right, I'm a little behind. I'm gonna be behind in the chat. I'm sorry, y'all, but please keep yourselves entertained here, and I know there's nothing Jenny Words can't do. She is
Do, do you
exceptionally
want me? Do you want me
talented.
to help with the chat? I'm usually pretty good at keeping up with it. Do you want me to help with the
Oh, yeah,
chat?
you could
Okay.
highlight all you
Okay.
want
All
to,
right. Cool.
while
Just
I
making sure.
yeah. So
I don't
we're
like
gonna
to wrest the reins away from other people's live streams.
Oh, yeah, feel free. I'm this is why I usually have 3 people in the live stream, including myself, because for some reason, when it's 3 people, I have an easier time navigating. I'm not like Jimmy. I feel like Jimmy is the master of one-on-one. But, yes, thank you so much because I do like the chat to feel included, and I think that's kind of the appeal for me about doing this tag live is that we get to have people chime in with their answers while we're live here, so
Word.
yes. The next question is a book that made you cry. Did anything make you cry this year?
I always witch and moan about this question too, because the stereotype, the type of person that asks a question what your favorite fictional crush is also the type of person to probably cry at books and then post ludicrously about it in Goodreads about how, oh, I am broken. I've been sobbing for 5 days straight and can't breathe. So, I mean, I have Asperger's, so I don't cry a lot, just in general. I'm not sure one has anything to do with the other. Um, but no, I haven't cried. I'm not even sure I've read anything specific. Oh, you know what? You know what? You know what? The end of Remains of the Day is quite moving, especially if your biggest disappointment is your life. um, it's so no, it didn't make me cry, but it's certainly like it's very it's very moving. So
Wow.
so because I was listening to the audiobook of it because I was reading it and then I was listening to it and I'm like, this is a book that begs to be listened to. Like this British dude just sounds like a British butler, and so I just switched to. So Augustus did get me a bit, Laura, but she's not asking. I didn't read Augustus this year.
That's true. We're
We're
just
just
talking about the books we read so far in
Yeah, we're just
2024.
talking about 2024, and I have
Mhm.
12 choices. So, um, I don't. So yeah, not a ton of crying, sadly.
But Remains of the Day, I think that counts. I mean, even if it didn't make you cry, it
I
still
mean,
got you
it definitely
moving.
it definitely moved me to a wistful place.
Yeah.
So,
I do have an answer to this. There was one book
did you
that made me
cry,
cry
Laura?
this year. Yes, I
Laura,
actually
you are
go ahead.
43.
I'm what?
You're 43.
Oh, you have to tell everybody about my age. That's kind of rude.
Was that right? Like I thought, like I knew you were around you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. No, Joanna is 27. No, I'm just
So,
kidding. What made you cry?
I'm blushing. Um, The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell. There was a scene in this book that I actually had to put the book down and cry. Like, it got to me so much, and I wasn't expecting it either. And this book actually I it's kind of weird to say this because they're such different books, and I feel like I'll get in trouble for comparing the 2, but I would say if you're a fan of Hyperion, maybe try The Bone Clocks because they're sort of similar in the sense that you're going through instead of several different characters in different parts of the universe, and their storylines, you're going through 5 I think 5 or 6 different storylines in different decades who all interconnect, and the each person is different. They're very distinct based on their socioeconomic status, the location where they live, the culture at the time. So many different factors affect like who they are individually. But there was one particular character in this book that I just got so choked up over.
I
I
assume
can't
that's
say
the
it because
character
obviously
she's
because of
talking about.
spoilers. Yeah.
I assume
What?
it's the character she's talking about, Anita.
What? ED?
Ed,
What's
a
Ed?
person named Ed. I think
Yeah.
that's what.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Ed. That's right.
Yeah.
But I can't. That's kind of a spoiler, so I didn't want to say anything.
Well, Laura clearly has no problem spoiling that whole thing for
I
us.
guess not.
Because if you missed it the first time, you couldn't have missed it, you know, the eighth time with his name 12
Yeah.
separate
And
sections.
and there's also a character like in Hyperion, there's that poet character who has who has a meta kind of storyline. He's writing the cantos, he's writing the Hyperion cantos, and the series is called Hyperion Cantos. There's a poet, or not a poet, but there's a washed out best-selling author who has a storyline in this book, and who also has a lot of meta humor. And I love that character too. I know that that's Laura's favorite character in the book. Really fantastic character. So yeah, I can't help but compare these 2 books a lot, even though they're very different in some ways. And I feel like I'll get in trouble for that comparison, but just have to say, yeah, Crispin Hershey is the best. He's the goat. Yeah, so I did actually cry, and I should go ahead and mention too, we had a discussion on Philip's 3rd book, and I know that John from Talking Stories said that he had to go to the back room when he was working and sneaking in the book, reading the book, and he had to shed a Denzel tear. He said he shed a Denzel tear. So
Oh, really?
so good to know that, right?
Nice.
And yeah, and then next is a book that made you happy. So any books that made you happy? Do you read happy books?
Nothing makes me happy, Joanna. Like there are merely books that take me to a place that it's like if anybody's played Baldur's Gate 3, it's like when you go down in the swamp, but it looks like a really nice like forest area until you pass the perception check and it's really a nasty like evil swamp. That's what books are to me, really. Because then
Oh,
when I'm done reading it, it's like, you know what? This is still like this is still my life of wasted potential. So, um, so books that make me happy, I've got 12 choices. Let me see what Claudius the God did not make me happy. The Dispossessed did not make me happy. Skyrim did not make me happy. Nero did not make me happy. The Wife Stalker was fun. Um, when the Bow Breaks, I Claudius, Crucible of the Day, Remains of the Day, Crucible of Chaos, Remains of the Day, Mercy of Gods. This is hard because like it just feels like because it's not asking what your favorite book is because we already did that. So it has to be something that like, I don't know, like brought joy to me. Um,
everyone is saying Mercy of Gods, Mercy of
yeah, but
God.
that's but why? Just because I liked it a lot? Um, you know what makes me happy? Listening to Jonathan Keeble narrate The Winter King again.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, did you do that?
I'm doing it currently. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah,
good.
I'm doing it currently. Yeah, I freaking why are these books the way they are? I'm almost to Gore Fifthid's famous line. I'm almost there.
Oh, I
I'm
love that
almost,
line.
I'm
I
almost there.
For those of you who don't know, I posted it in my Joanna section in my Discord. Um,
Yeah.
it's the collaborative discussion. We had it over on your channel, right? We had it on Alan's channel. It was a collaborative discussion with Theo, Rekindled Reader, and Sarah Reeds, myself. We talked about the Warlord Chronicles, and I think it was when we were. I want to say I thought it was in book 2, but maybe it's in book 1. But Gorfifid has a famous line that Alan liked to speak about, like to say, like to quote, and
I don't have the answer right now.
I ugly laughed in that discussion. I think I ugly laughed because it made me laugh so hard.
Kev, I did not know that. Dang it. I hate Malekith, but I'm going to go listen to all his dialogue now. Yes, I love Jonathan People. Yeah, so it's hard to separate. No, I take it. No, 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 no. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I read 2 new Greatcoats books. Those make me happy as crap. Crucible of Chaos, which is really the start of a new series, but really it's Play of Shadows. But I read both of them this year because they came out like 3 months apart. But there's a there's a there's a donkey in the one, and he's got a cool name, and I forgot what it is, but I love the donkey, and also the actors are fun in Play of Shadows. So those books make me happy. The Great Coats books will always make me happy. So yeah, never mind. So those Great Coats books make me happy.
That's good.
No, Way of a Dan does not make me happy right now. It does not. It will make me happy if I listen to the thing when I'm done. Currently, it does not make me happy because I'm like, oh my gosh, why can I hear like why does it sound like I'm like gnawing on a dog's bone? I'm like, fix it. I gotta fix it. So
I had a hard time with this question too about what a book that made me happy. But
you don't
but I'll
read anything happy.
this made me happy too, though. This is like this might be up at this is gonna be up there in one of my favorite books of the year because
Then why didn't you say that when we did that one?
I should have. Well, there are things about this book that, like, plot-wise, like, the rising and falling action happens super rushed, and I don't know. So there are things about it I was a little negative on, but the things I loved so much. The character work was so good. It was impeccable. But this book actually made me laugh out loud. As we were talking about earlier in the chat, Crispin Hershey, that writer character in here, he just made me laugh out loud. And I think this is the only book I want to say, no, I guess I've read laughed with other books. I did laugh at Ubik. That's true at times. But this book, it just delighted me. So I don't know. It's I guess
I
that's
can
gonna be
count on I can
good.
always count on Pratchett books to make me happy, but I haven't read any this year.
I need to read Feet of Clay. I still haven't moved on in the City Watch, which is
No one has. Like everyone, like no one wants to really be my ally. Like no one wants to really know me as a person. So no one will finish them. No one will finish them. But everyone's got all this other crap they can read. I don't know why no one will finish them. No, they're all awful. Sarah's awful. Joanna's awful. Anita's awful. She didn't even read the first one.
oh. I think Tori is reading them too. Tori and Sarah from Sarah Reads was reading them. I don't know if she's still reading.
Sarah is not reading them. I just said her. She's dead to
Oh, you
me.
did. Sorry.
No,
Oh,
she said, I don't have the book, Alan. I sent her the book. And by that, I mean, I paid ludicrous Canada shipping to ship her the bleeding book. And then, you know what she did instead? Read Will of the Many with Kyle and her whole Discord.
oh,
And
that's right.
then, when that was done, didn't read Men at Arms. She's like, it's sitting on my nightstand. I'm like, am I 3 to where that is supposed to placate me? Oh, well, as long as it's in your proximity, then, okay, that's the same. I really came on this thing trying not to be mad at anything. I did not succeed.
That's all. And
So much
Kyle's still
fail.
here. You keep on like getting mad at people and firing your counsel, and they keep showing up. So
I want you to tell me the difference of this.
That's funny.
There's no difference. That's the same thing. And you know what she said? I'm like, well, read it after Will of the Many. She said, well, I can't. I'm going to buddy read Dragonfly Falling with Kyle. That's the word she said. Now, she didn't end up doing that, but those are the words that she said to me. So,
yeah, well,
she's fired. Sarah's fired. We're not friends anymore, me and Sarah.
maybe I could talk her into buddy reading it with me.
She'll never read it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. If you do it, sure. Like, I can't convince anybody to.
Yeah, I would like to move on at some point though, because I did enjoy both the Guards and
They're so
Men
good.
at Arms. They're really good. Yeah,
And I don't know why anybody quits before Night Watch. Night Watch is arguably the best Discworld book, let alone City Watch book.
that's what I've heard. I've heard
So
you say
good.
that. I've heard you say that.
You know who else hasn't moved on? Philip Chase.
That's true. Good point. Everybody's fired now because of Discworld.
Not Mike. Mike Mendelin's not fired.
Oh, and Belltube said he's reading it. Where's Belltube? He said earlier that he was reading it.
You know what? Duffman says a lot of things. So, we'll see. Duffman says a lot of things. But Mike, no. Mike's where it's at. Mike gets, I'm going to heap land and titles upon Mendelin. He's going to be the only noble left in the entire country.
Gosh. All right, we're moving on now to the next one. Since happiness is not our thing here. Favorite or least favorite book to film adaptation that you saw this year?
This implies I watch movies.
It doesn't have to be a movie. We saw something.
What did we see? What did we watch?
You don't remember?
Did I watch it with you?
Yeah.
Shogun. Yeah,
Yes.
Shogun was good. Yeah. I mean, what did I watch the top Shogun? Nothing. Shogun.
We didn't I actually never saw the last 2 episodes.
You never watched the end?
No, because I somehow missed the schedule got thrown off, and then I missed when you rescheduled the watch along. So I missed the last 2 episodes.
And you haven't watched it yet?
Because I had a Hulu free month and then it expired.
It doesn't. I'm not the beginning, the first half of the season is better than the back half, in my opinion.
I was feeling that way the last episode I saw because I was so high on Shogun. I was like, oh my gosh, this is better than the book. And
Oh,
then
it is still fantastic. It is
yeah.
still excellent, but I thought I don't think it was as strong in the back half as it was at the beginning.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, because when I got towards, the end of the season, I was like, "Why is Blackthorn acting like that
Yeah.
all of a sudden?"
See, I disagree with this also. I don't think the final episode lived up to. Had you seen the have you read the book, Laura? Because maybe it's possibly different if you haven't read the book.
I bet it
Um,
is different if you haven't read the book. Yeah.
um, but yeah, well, what a surprise. So all's right with the world. Kyle, who is wrong, has a different opinion than me. So
Hmm. Okay. Well, I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, so maybe I'll watch them and weigh in, but that's the only one I watched. I've also watched a lot of Studio Ghibli this year, and I haven't read the books, so I wouldn't be able to weigh in on whether they're better than the books or not, but I've been really enjoying my time with Ghibli films. Um, I've been rewatching Death Note, the anime, on YouTube. Did you know if you have YouTube Premium, Death Note, all the seasons are free. It's crazy, so
there is you. Have you seen Death Note before?
mhm, this is my 2nd time, and I can't believe how much I forgot, especially
You
about
should.
those last episodes. I don't remember anything about the
That's
end.
because you shouldn't watch it past a point. There is a
Yeah,
point where
bad.
the show
Okay.
gets objectively not as good.
Like the last
And
10 episodes or so, maybe?
yes, and no one should watch those. It doesn't add anything. In fact, you come away liking it less for having seen those episodes.
I don't
It
know if
is
that's true, if I would
That's
go
because
that far.
you are too nice, Joanna. It
It's a
is not
really good show. Yeah.
it Near and Lemon or whatever his stupid name is are
Yes,
dumb.
Mellow. They're
Mellow.
mellow.
They
Mhm,
are dumb.
mhm.
They are dumb. They are dumb, and the show is dumb with them existing. Dumb.
But I have to say that that's, like, the one show that is redeeming, hard magic for me. I'm like, I actually enjoy the hard magic system in that anime, and I'm not a hard magic fan when it comes to fantasy, but
Yeah.
I love the moral questions it brings up. I just love the scheming, the back and forth.
Oh, so
So
good.
good with
It is
Elle in it.
so good. It
Oh,
is so good
yeah.
until Near and
Until Near
Mellow.
Mellow. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Um, Care Bears was not book to film adaptation. Care Bears was a product line first, and then had TV shows. Or else I would say that because Care Bears movie 1 holds up. Care Bears movie 2 is kind of garbage, and it does not hold up. I was like, why is this movie so bad? But Care Bears 1 holds up for sure, and Care Bears in the Freeze Machine is where it's at. TV special.
I had a friend who found Care Bears really scary. He's like, "That Care Bear stare, these teddy bears that just stare at you," like,
That's weird.
that sound kinda
That's weird.
creepy.
Laura, we did talk about Shogun, and I did like the show. I'm not trashing the show. The show was excellent.
It
I
was
just
good.
did not enjoy the last couple episodes particularly. Like they were my least favorite of them.
Yeah.
Um,
I still think I like the show better than the book, even though there were some
really?
good
Oh
moments.
no, that's a hard no for me. I like the book better. They take too many of the things I like out of the book, and also
Yeah,
I don't like the way Blackthorn is freaking
I
portrayed
don't
in
like
that
that
leading
either.
show.
No, I agree
Um,
with that. I agree with that. I think they did a they messed up. They messed up in the show with Blackthorn for me personally. But what I love about the show that I didn't feel like I quite got from the book is the atmosphere. Like I feel the atmosphere of Japan at
yeah,
that
that's
time.
true. That's
And I
true.
didn't quite feel that in the book. I feel like the book is very, very dialogue heavy and scheming heavy, but I didn't feel like I was really immersed in the setting
Mhm.
and just taking in all the details of the
Yeah.
wardrobe and the way they would walk or the way they would do things.
There's
I
just there's less political there's less scheming in the show because it has to be. You're not in their heads, and there isn't enough time for all of
That's right.
the subtle moves and everything. There are some things that are way better in the show, and one of them is freaking Yabu. Like Yabu
Yeah.
is wonderful in the show. Um, I haven't seen Paddington 2. I've only seen Paddington 1, and I really like it. But yeah, I haven't seen the Paddington 2. But yeah, Shogun. There are parts that I really like. The actors are great. I like the more complete.
Really good.
I like it. Like I'm the person that also really likes the. When I was in high school, I read middle school. I read The Stand, And then when I was in high school, they released the like uncut The Stand or whatever, was like 300 extra pages, and I read that and I like that better. And there's a lot of people that don't like, because it adds a lot of stuff that obviously isn't super crucial to the plot because it wasn't there to start with. So I like that about Shogun. I like that, but I don't know. There's a lot in the show I really like.
I still haven't read The Stand, but my brother is such a huge fan that he said that he got at the end of the extended version, which is like 1,000 pages or something, and he said he could have easily taken 1,000 pages more. Like, that's how
Dude,
much
I
he loved
love The Stand. I haven't read The Stand since high school. I love The
it.
Stand. Man, I read the
Um,
crap out of The Stand. Why is it so hard to make a good adaptation of The Stand? Like, it doesn't seem like it should be. Why do they suck at it?
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
whose idea is it to take freaking Jamie? What is his name? What is his name? He's in
I
Criminal
haven't read
Intent.
it.
Anyway, his name's Jamie Sheridan. Jamie Sheridan, and stick a big curly blonde wig on him as the freaking walking man in the original Stand adaptation. It's like, you look ridiculous. Like, this is not what Randall Flagg looks like. It's not. This is terrible. Anyway, it's not a good adaptation. It has Rob Lowe as the deaf kid, though. I can't remember if he's good or not.
I
But
don't know. Yeah. Can't weigh in on that, but maybe someday. I really want to read it someday. I'm gonna read it this fall, though, so
I think The Stand is better than it. Now, it is hands down, without exception, the scariest book I have ever read. Like ever. And I think the old movie is also terrifying, even with Tim Curry as Pennywise.
Yes, I saw some of that when I was a
It
kid.
is quite scary.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember
the
that.
I mean, everyone says that the kid portion is better than the adult portion, and that's true. I mean, the kid portion is just terrifying. Like, it is legit a scary book. Again, I haven't read that since high school either. But I've read The Stand like thrice, so it has to be the one I like the most.
Stephen King is such a great author. Like, I'm such a fan. I don't think people ever expect me to be a fan of Stephen King because I
No
know
one
he's
ever
a
asked me to talk about Stephen King, ever.
Oh,
I've read The
good.
Gunslinger more than anybody in all of those Gunslinger discussions. Whatever. You know,
Well,
I've read a lot of Stephen King. Now, I haven't read Stephen King in the last 10 years, but I've read a decent amount of his bibliography.
what's your favorite?
The Stand. Well,
Oh, that's your favorite.
no, Wizard and Glass from The Gunslinger.
Yes, it's the
But
best it's the
outside of
best
Wizard,
Dark
yeah,
Tower book. Yes.
outside of Gunslinger, outside of Dark Tower, rather, it's The Stand.
Yeah, and to answer Kevin, I have read Boy's Life, so hooray. I read that last year.
Yeah, it is really good. It is quite good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. No, Wizard and Glass is really, really good. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm such a huge fan. I know some people hate it, but I
No, it is the most common, most popular one. So on this, I'm on the side of the trend,
yeah.
sadly. But
Mm.
there's something about Wizard and Glass that I think I'm just more interested in Gilead, like I'm more interested in Cuthbert and Elaine and Roland than I am in
The content.
Roland, Eddie.
Aw.
Um, oh, which one's the good one? Odetta,
I
Susanna,
think
whatever,
gosh, I always mix them up.
whatever. And then certainly not Jake. Ugh. Um,
Aw. No.
and you know who else can suck it? Oi.
What?
That's right. I said it. I said it. I said it.
You're gonna have to do another apology video.
Oi can suck
Christina.
it.
Christina.
Oi can suck it.
No, I even didn't
Okay,
heard
no. Roland, Elaine, and Cuthbert are the first triumvirate. Frickin' Roland and the rest of his like quartet are like the second triumvirate, the Great Value brand triumvirate, where they got it at Walmart. Eddie and frickin' Jake and Oi. And see, they need 5 just to make up as cool as the 3 were. That's why I like Wizard and Glass.
But see, the thing that I love about Wizard of Glass is I do love, like, Roland's whole story. I think it's the coolest. It's just so cool. It's so immersive, it's so interesting. Like, the world building, it feels like an alternate world, yet it feels authentically Western at the same time.
So this is the other correct answer. My second favorite, and it's close, is Drawing of the Three. The
Oh,
first
Drawing of
time I
Threes,
read Drawing of
excellent.
the Three,
Yeah,
I never read anything like that book. It is
yeah,
so good. I
so
loved it.
good. No,
I
I was
like
mind blown with Drawing of the Three because I was kinda mid on The Gunslinger. I was like, "It's okay, it's kinda
I
weird, it's
didn't love
alright."
The Gunslinger till the third time I read it.
Oh,
Seriously.
wow. I
Like,
bet,
I
I
read it the
bet.
first time, was like, "What?" The second time, I was like, "All right, I know what's going on, so that's fine." At least, book 5 wasn't out, so but then when I read it the third time, I really liked it. So,
Wow.
Mike,
But
what is happening? I just gave you land and titles.
oh, no. I'm going to war over this. Let's see. I don't think Alan is reading the chat unless Joanna puts it on the screen.
It's not true.
Okay.
I literally just read
He's
it.
reading, he's keeping up with the chat. He's helping me out.
No,
Um,
Augustus is fine, but Lepidus? Are you kidding? And Antony? Get out of here.
oh, man. Oh, we're still on this question. Let's go on to the next question. Okay, the most beautiful book. Have you bought anything this year? Any books this year? Or received any books this year? I do have an answer.
Go.
The book that
Back half.
wouldn't burn.
Oh, nice, nice.
'Cause it's a really pretty book, and I have not read it, but I will eventually. So, yes. I already have buddy read plans for this, but it's gonna happen whenever the 3rd book comes out. So,
Back half of the Wastelands is good. Like, I like the back half of the Wastelands. Anything with Blaine the Mono is number 1
yes.
in my
Oh,
book. I love Blaine the
that
Mono.
brain is crazy.
Um, I don't have any nice books or like pretty books, I guess. That I got. Most beautiful book? I don't know, Joanna. This is like, what is this question?
I'm so jealous of the broken binding editions of the Dandelion Dynasty. Those look so nice. I don't know why I didn't jump in on that deal. I'm the
All
worst
these
about
people are
jumping through.
materialistic. This is for Yas queening criers who are in love with Ben Barnes and spend all their, I don't know, spend all their daddy's money on. But this is, I'm being so harsh on this random group of people that I don't know.
There are a lot of book collectors on BookTube, and there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
I got a nice one last time I did this. Keep talking. I'm gonna go try to look at my books.
That's okay. I think it'd be really fun if we did like the best looking library book that I got this year. Because I used to get so excited about going to the library and then I just get like the newest hardback edition of a book through the library. And I'm like, oh, yay, look. And I'd just be, I don't know, it would make me happy. Oh, nice. The first 7 hardcovers of Malazan I picked up this year. Dang. I only have some trade paperbacks and they don't match. They're all different, but I still love them. You know, they have great artwork. Um, yeah, those they're so beautiful. The broken binding editions. Um, yeah, nice. So I just have not gotten in on the broken binding. I know everybody is into the broken binding now.
So I take it back. Evie, before my son was born, sent me, and these are like the Loeb. These are like, they're not super pretty, but these are like the best edition for like ancient texts. They're the Loeb books, and these are all no, look how wee they are. Evie
They're
sent me
cute.
these. It's the complete collection of Cicero's letters to Atticus, because my child was named after one, on Christina's side, Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, but also on my side, Titus Pomponius Atticus, who was Cicero's best friend and was he loved Athens and published books and did not want to be involved in that nonsense of the political scene at Rome. And so we know a ton about 1st century BC because Atticus never threw the letters away. So all of Cicero's letters that he wrote to Atticus are in this thing, and some of them are boring as most of them are boring as crap. But yeah, so I just love these editions because they're wee and cute.
I think they're so cute. I love them.
It's also super nice, and they have the Latin on one side and the English on the other.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I've thought about doing book hauls every time. I get several from the library, but then I'd be making haul videos every week. I think that'd be fun though. I love library books because you can get like the nicest new edition, but you didn't have to pay for it, but you still get to read it and you still get to appreciate it and hold it. And like, I don't know. I just find that pretty cool. Um, but yes, I was gifted Song of the Mysteries. I forgot to mention this. So this was from Janny Wirtz. She very kindly sent me the trade paperback edition of this, and again, her gorgeous artwork. So let's show that off here. Has some nice rave reviews here on the back. So yes, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love the color scheme of that too. Kind of matches my shirt too. Just kind of put that back. I feel like I have so many gaps on my shelf now. Yeah, that was a very nice gift. Let's see. I don't know if you're referring to me or not. I freaking love those books. All the Greek collections are green and the Latin ones are red.
Of the Loeb ones, all the Greek ones, yeah. The Roman ones are red. The Greek ones are green.
Yeah, Jenny is just such an amazing artist. I wish I could do art like that. I started trying to get back into art again. I sent Alan one of my paintings.
Yes, still on my bookshelf.
Oh, that's right. The wave one that I did that one years ago, but I started trying to get
the orangutan one is also on my bookshelf.
Oh yeah. I did that one for him too. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it. Oh, you still can? You can still buy the nice ones, the broken binding editions, Shad? That would be amazing. I think I would actually invest in that because I'm pretty certain I'm gonna love the Dandelion Dynasty after how I felt about the Paper Menagerie. So that's really cool. So I don't know. I'm like little by little collecting stuff, but I also like saving money. So this is kind of the challenge for me. I put a freeze on my book buying since I'm tired of not having money. Yeah. It's just nice to save money. That's why I love libraries because I used to get like a high off going to the library and picking up a book and I'm like, I get to read this and I'm not paying anything. Like there's just something really cool about that. So, are you okay, Helen?
No, yeah, I'm just tired and in pain.
Oh no, you're in pain.
No, my shoulder hurts.
That's no fun. That's no fun. So next one is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't know if did we answer this one or not?
I mean, I have a literal list, so hang on. Apparently, Sarantine Mosaic.
Yes.
Apparently.
We need to make a plan. If you're wanting to read along with me or not, I don't know if you are, or wanting to discuss them with me. I am going to be hosting discussions on that book. Just letting you know now. They will involve Josh from Red Fairy Books. So,
Joanna, did you legitimately just invite me to a buddy read that you already have scheduled with other people?
I had scheduled it before you asked.
Didn't I literally say something about this yesterday? I was literally about to say, I was about to open it up to the chat. I'm like, guys, it's gonna be guys. How many of y'all think Joanna's gonna betray me?
I was gonna
have to take bets.
I didn't betray you. You asked me if I want. You told me. Actually, you told me. You didn't ask. You said, Joanna, don't read Sarantine Mosaic without me. And actually, first you asked me, are you reading Sarantine Mosaic? And I said yes. And I didn't even get to finish. I'm reading it this fall with Josh and friends. And you said,
so you didn't think that a Guy Gavriel K book based on the Byzantines that has chariot racing, which is how I broke my collarbone. You didn't think that was relevant to my interests.
It's not that. But we are going to read it together. I want to read it with you.
Joanna, I told you yesterday. Like, because you also just it's not just you and Josh. It's you and multiple people.
Well,
like I'm not even an appendix. I'm a vestigial tail.
That's not true.
I'm the Mongolian spot.
That's not true. And Josh asked me, he's like, "When do you just let me know when you want to read it." I'm like, "I'm gonna make sure that I'm on the right page with Alan."
Guys, y'all watched Betrayal in real time. This happened in real time.
Oh no.
Y'all watched me gear up to kick the football and Joanna go, "Wah!" in real time.
You all
In-
weigh in. Am I
in real
betraying
time.
him?
In
I
real
could
time.
but I've been reading Guy Gavriel K books. I read The Lions of Alverson and then A Song for Arbonne and then Tigana. I've
Sure, I
had
read Tigana long ago and no one joined me.
that's because you took a long time to read it, right? Didn't you
Really,
take
Joanna?
didn't you take
Really?
but didn't you take, like, over a year? I thought that's what happened.
N- I left it for 3 months.
Oh, that's what it
Stopped
was.
reading it in June, picked it up again in December.
Okay.
Thank you for your help, Christina, whose
Okay.
only comment on this whole discussion is, that's more than 3 months.
Oh, I feel so bad. I don't know how do I resolve this? What can I
You
do,
can't.
Alan?
We move on to the next. Oh, you tell me, what do you got to read by the end of the year?
The Sarantine Mosaic with you. And, ah, I feel like I can't make this right. I don't know what to Sarantine Mosaic, finish Aspect Emperor, and I'm gonna be buddy reading The Dandelion Dynasty too with Philip Chase. So we're gonna be starting that at some point. And I need to continue with the Jenny Wirtz series, but
Who are you reading Dandelion Dynasty with? Well, I'm never going to read that series.
you were invited, but you didn't. I don't know. Do you want to read the Dandelion Dynasty?
With Philip. How many
Yeah,
books is Dandelion Dynasty? Is it 4 really long ones?
you
Because
own them. I
it
don't even
seems
own
to
them.
me that me most importantly, but other people have said, "Hey, Philip Chase, the medievalist. What if you read the Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell
You need
about
to,
medieval crap?"
Philip. You need to read Warlord. I don't
Oh,
know.
no, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Let him miss out. You know what? I don't want him to read it anymore. I hope Bernard Cornwell takes it off the shelves.
Oh no. Ah.
I can't with you people. Oh my gosh.
But I love reading with you, Alan. I do want
How
to.
would you know, Joanna? When's the last time you read a book with me?
Um, uh, this we read Butcher's Crossing together. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember Witch's Crossing. I remember how
It's
dumb
true.
it was.
Well, we haven't really lined up on the reading. Well, we read the Red Rising trilogy together,
We did.
and
We did. Those were good times. I miss those days when my friends were my friends.
and the Poppy War trilogy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know. There was a time like those halcyon days of yore.
Oh, this is funny. This is a funny comment by the
Are you sure? Because Phillips people use some salty language
That's
in his book.
true.
So
That's true. There's a lot of salty language in the Edan trilogy. There might even be somebody who yells at some point if I don't remember, but
that's right.
we'll find out.
That's right.
We'll find out.
I'm gonna read a Parker book before the end of the year, probably. Oh, I mean, definitely, because I haven't read anything by KJ Parker this year, which is pretty sad. Yeah, in the Scarab Path, I'm gonna continue with the apt. This is the bone that I will throw to Anitha and Pete for keeping the peace,
Oh,
because I should have read this already. This is my betrayal, and I'm gonna make it right.
got it.
I'm gonna serve as a exemplar, a model for all people who commit betrayals. I'm going to serve as a model for unbetraying.
Oh, all the betrayals.
There's so many.
I should just rename this live show just Betrayal.
Yeah, I know. And you wanted to blitzkrieg me live, just like Jimmy did. That's what my friends do. They get me on their channel live to betray me publicly. That's
This
when
is gonna
Jimmy
be
was
called Mid-Year Betrayals. Yes. Love
the
it.
mid-year betrayal tag. I'm gonna rewrite it.
The mid-
Favorite book that Alan likes that you refuse to read. That's question number 6. Question number 7. How many buddy reads of a book Alan would want to read did you do without him? That's number 7. Number 8. How long has Alan been asking you to read a book or series that you haven't read yet? That's question 9. So I'm taking notes right now.
How many buddy reads did you participate in and not tell
And
Alan?
left Alan in how many times have you left Alan in the dust in a buddy read? Man, these questions write themselves. All right. What's next?
Okay, next question. I think there was one more thing I was going to say about. I'll just say really quickly that I made a series video of all the series I want to read in the year 2024, and I made a standalone video like of all the standalones I want to read this year. And I am killing it when it comes to the standalones. Like I've almost completed every book on that list. Like the only 2 books that I need to read. Well, I need to finish Lonesome Dove. I still I may or may not read one of the books on my list, which is The City and the City by China Miéville. And then I also have Marcus Aurelius's Meditations.
Are you like that's a joke, right? Like that can't be true. Like that can't be true.
I have it on my shelf somewhere.
Why?
I was
Why would
curious.
you read Meditations and not and not Feet of Clay?
Because I'm curious about Stoicism.
Read a Wikipedia article and you'll know everything there is to know. Oh. That can't be true. Oh my gosh. Laura, you knew about this betrayal and then didn't tell me. You're freaking marking it in the outside the theater of Pompey.
Okay. Come on now.
Okay.
All right. So maybe this one if I weren't laughing so hard. Okay. Favorite video you've done so far?
I've done 4 videos this year, Joanna. Which one should I choose? Let's go look, shall we?
They're all really good. I'm dying. I will say, although I can't count it this year, one of my favorite videos ever was the New Year's Eve live show on your channel. The one with Germ. Do you remember that? That was so much fun.
I do remember that.
That was such a good time.
That was
It was
fun.
just such a great combination of friends. It was really funny. It was really fun. We should do that again on your channel this year.
I'll let you know after I have 20 other people. I'll be like, hey,
Oh,
as an afterthought, Joanna, would you like to join? Oh, I forgot. Oh, Joanna, I forgot. Would you like to be?
oh, gosh. Oh, I love that video though. That was a lot of fun.
That's good.
Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know what my favorite video is. I'm really trying to see what I've done. It's not the dispossessed video, because it's the dispossessed.
You could also count your video with your streams with Jimmy might count too, and this stream.
So hold on. I'm trying to tell. Okay, so my favorite video that I've done should be a video on someone else's channel.
I said my favorite video was the one on your channel.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because it wasn't even this year.
That's true. It was the last day of last year. What about your top 10 of 2023 that you just put out? That was a great.
That I just put out. I mean, it's going to have to be, isn't it? Because hold on, I have one review, stuff that I'm gonna read, false. Oh man, I haven't posted anything. Yeah, so by default, it's the video I just put out.
That was a good video. You had like some really classic, so good moments.
Yes, I love having a whole bunch of books on there that no one will read.
It's true. You talked about a lot of books that I think a lot of people haven't heard of.
Jeopardy.
Oh, that was awesome. Yes. I was on your Jeopardy this year.
Yeah.
That was a huge highlight. Huge, huge highlight. And I lost, but it was still fun. It was so amazing because I actually
Yeah.
got some questions right. And when I got questions right, like the reward center of my brain lit up like a Christmas tree because those questions are so hard.
Yeah. I have to push back. I'm probably gonna have to push back Jeopardy to August because I had to push it back from June. And then July, I'm busy. I've either got company or I'm out of town. So I'm gonna move it to August. So guys, new Jeopardy in August with Yolanda, Derry, and Evie. Heck
Cool.
yeah. Heck yeah, Mike. Mike and Murphy will be playing one of the three that I said a minute ago.
Yeah. See, this is why I was kinda glad I lost a little bit because I'm like, then I don't have to move on, have anxiety again, but
Why would you not want to move on? Why would you not want to move on?
I kinda did actually because I had a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. Um, and let's see, oh yeah, favorite video. Okay, and then oh yeah, you've also done a lot of video game streaming. That could also count too.
No, I don't count streams. It's not like planned content. Like it's
Oh,
not. Yeah, I don't count those.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love streaming, and let's see, what would be my favorite video? I did a video, for my quarter 1 recap. I did all the books I've read so far in one-line reviews, and because I love those on YouTube, those are like one-sentence review challenges, and I had fun with that video. I thought that came out pretty nicely, so maybe I'll shout out that video, give it some love.
Word.
Yeah. But I also love this video, and it's a stream, but I'm gonna count it. But that's it. That concludes all the questions in this tag.
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
Didn't we skip one yesterday?
Did we? Let me check.
You said we did. Yeah, number 5.
Oh, yes! You gotta say it. You gotta read it.
So genre, if we're for back, you've been loving or reading the most. I've been reading a lot of historical fiction, and it's all Roman historical fiction. Roman historical fiction doesn't have any right to be as bad as it is. Like most of the Roman historical fiction I've read is serviceable at best. And I don't really understand that. Like it should be it should be better than it is. I Claudius is tremendous. I love I Claudius. Laura doesn't, but she doesn't know anything. I Claudius is really good. But other than I Claudius, Augustus is the peak of Roman historical fiction.
Yes, it's so
But
good.
I haven't read any other Augustus and then I Claudius. I haven't read anything else Roman historical fiction that is even close. I have heard Greek stuff is better, but the one Greek thing I read was I hated it. I hated it because David Gemmell messed it all up. I didn't like it either. No, sorry. Kyle was right. I'm sorry. My favorite book of last year, Imperium. Sorry. The Cicero trilogy is also exceptional. So maybe it's not all bad, but I mean, I did read some really good stuff, and then just a lot of stuff I read is just mid. Yeah, they're right. Cicero trilogy for sure is excellent.
Yeah. I have not been reading much historical fiction this year. I was reading more of it last year, and then I've kinda gotten out of the hang of it for
Well, I
whatever
don't
reason.
actually enjoy that I'm reading it, like because because none of the books I read are ever like, oh man, this is amazing. It's just like I guess I got to read another historical fiction book now. I Claudius was good, huh? Read Uwe.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah,
And you want
Christina's trying to make me read A Man Called Uwe.
Yeah, because apparently the character reminds her of you. I think that's a compliment.
Christina, is he betrayed on all fronts by the people he knows on a daily basis? Do they invite him to the public square to betray him in front of God and everybody? They do? Oh my gosh, then yes, he's exactly right.
Ah,
with a lot of
Theo, you missed the part where we were talking about our warlord discussion and Alan with his Gorfifid line.
Freaking Gorfitha. I've forgotten how to do it because I'm not there yet, but I'll hear it again and
I thought you were going to give yourself an aneurysm saying
it'll be the same. Gorfitha's the worst. No, Gunlius. No, Sansom. Bishop Sansom.
Need to
Anyway,
reread it. Oh, so good. Yeah, Warlord is so good. And he's rereading that right now. So that's exciting. Yeah, so genre. I've been loving reading the most. This has really been my year of sci-fi. I've been reading so much more sci-fi this year than I have in
Yeah.
previous years. And I don't know, it started happening at the end of last year. I started reading some sci-fi and then I thought, what's wrong with me? Because most books I love are sci-fi and I never pick it up and I don't know why. So I made it a point to read more sci-fi this year, and I've been really enjoying most of the sci-fi I've been reading. But I have to admit that I kind of I roll a little bit whenever everybody's like, "Sci-fi is the genre of ideas. It's ideas one." I'm like, "What?" Like, I don't know. There's nothing else that sci-fi does except ideas. Like, I understand and ideas are central to sci-fi, but for some reason, I feel like that almost shortchanges what sci-fi does just to say it's about ideas. And it also means, I don't know, I just feel like there has to be more going for a story than just an idea. Like, execution matters. So that's my little soapbox about that. But
Yeah, sci-fi I struggle to pick up also because sci-fi I have to work too hard to understand what's going on because often it is on there's alien tech and alien races and all this stuff. And I know in fantasy there's also made up stuff, but most of them are
historical.
quasi medieval European. Like it is a world that is normal to me that I can use to ground myself and then just figure out some things like what is different about this particular one. With sci-fi, a lot of times there's always a lot of math in sci-fi. Like a lot of the sci-fi I read, they talk about math a lot or physics, and the obviously the science portion of sci-fi, um, it just bogs me down a lot of times. It the Fire Upon the Deep, A Fire Upon the Deep is I'm actually really surprised I love it because a lot of it is talking about slow space and science and some math, and I'm just like, I don't understand this, and I get bogged down in it sometimes.
I feel that way too. I feel like my brain, maybe because I'm just not used to reading a lot of hard sci-fi, I don't feel like my brain is quite at the level to be able to consume it as some people who read a lot of sci-fi. So
Yeah.
even like the world building in Hyperion, I was like, okay, just keep track. The force is this and the this is this. And I don't know, there was just like a lot of world building and a lot of terms, a lot of concepts
Yeah.
that I feel like, okay, if I were a sci-fi reader, I bet this would just be really simple. And because I'm new to this genre, it's it's probably the same way for somebody who's new to fantasy and they're trying to pick up on all this medieval terminology.
Yeah, I mean, Hyperion was okay. Hyperion is about the limits that I can stand of that kind of stuff. And I used to read. So I read all the Ender's Game series until Orson Scott Card wouldn't leave it alone. But I
Oh, I
love
love
Ender's
Ender's
Game. I
Game.
loved
Yeah.
Ender's Game, and I loved Speaker for the Dead. However, when we get to Xenocide and Children of the Mind, we get into that. I'm like, why do I care about any of this? I don't care. That's fantastic. That book's fantastic. I will
It's really
never
good.
forget how I felt the first time I read that book. Um,
Good.
and the books 3 and 4 are garbage. But then he got obsessed of like this side story with Bean, who I don't care about. I read Shadow of the Hegemon, and that's when I was done with him because it was a Bean book, but it's Shadow of the Hegemon. So it's supposed to be about Peter, who was the most interesting character to me. Peter Valentine, and everyone in the chat who knows who that is will call me a terrible person. But I loved Peter. Peter Wiggins, sorry, not Peter Valentine, it's his sister. And Peter wasn't in it enough. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with these. Like, we're not doing anything interesting anymore. And I don't care about Bean. And there's not enough Hegemon. So, bye. So I read those. And I also, when I was little, read, there was a series, I think this by Asimov, called Norby. And it's these they're kids' sci-fi books about this little robot named Norby. And they were like adventure books.
Oh, I never heard of those.
No one's ever heard of them except one friend that I met, 5 years ago in my 30s. I mentioned Norby, and he's like, dude, I read Norby. I'm like, no. Or I think he mentioned Norby first. And I was like, no, someone knows what Norby is. No one knows who Norby is. Peter's, this is not, what are you talking about, Peter Sucks? That's not, do you see this? This. Oh my gosh, Kyle. Like, what are you talking about? Peter is fascinating. What do you want to sit there? I bet you love Bean. So we're going to sit there and watch Bean and be like, oh man, I wish I was big like the other kids. Or we have to watch Ender endlessly wring his hands. Or Valentine being like, but guys.
I don't remember. I need to reread this book. It's been a long time.
It's so good.
It is. I loved it though. I loved the book.
Peter's the best.
So, yeah. Yeah. So you actually have read a lot of sci-fi. I didn't realize that.
No, I mean, not really. I just talked about the only books I've ever read that are sci-fi. So yeah, I also read in middle school, Ray Bradbury's Dinosaur World, which was a planet where there were dinosaurs.
Huh.
It wasn't very good. So
and you read Timeline, right? By Crichton? I have that.
Yes, I read Timeline, and I also read Prey by Crichton, and Jurassic Park, and Andromeda Strain, and Sphere, and Congo, and yeah, Prey is the nano one, right? And then I read Cell by Stephen King, which is, I mean, fine, I guess. Yeah, I forgot about Crichton. Yeah, I read a bunch of Crichton too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the only Crichton I've read. I still haven't read any other Crichton.
Oh, I like Sphere a lot. Timeline was really good, but I like Sphere. Jurassic Park is the best. But Sphere is also really good. I like Sphere a lot.
Cool. Oh, look. Theo said he just read that.
Nice, Theo.
Yeah.
Congo is Evie, what? Congo is not better than Jurassic Park. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Don't at me. Good.
Oh my gosh.
I've never read Jurassic Park. I have the most unpopular Jurassic Park opinion ever, though, which is when I was a kid, I saw the first movie in the theater, and I got kind of bored. I don't think anybody has ever said that in the entire world.
And so you chose this stream to say that?
Maybe I feel differently if I watched it.
Why would you not save that for another day?
Because we were talking about it and helping Evie out. Oh, no. Maybe I should try it. Maybe
that is such a.
I was a kid, and that
you haven't seen it since you were a child.
That's right.
Really?
That's right. Yeah. When did the movie come out? Came out
1995 or
okay.
4.
Okay. Then I was a little older, but yeah, I was. Yeah.
You haven't seen it since then? No one in your life has made you watch Jurassic Park another time? Does no one in your life care about you?
I'm just in so much trouble. I'm just in so much trouble today.
Oh my!
I've just dug my grave. I've dug my grave in this episode.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to respond.
Maybe someday. What if I read it and love it? Will that redeem me?
I mean, from the Jurassic Park thing, I mean, the book's good. The movie's fantastic.
Is the movie better?
I mean, I like the movie better, but That's because I don't remember the book very well. Also, because I saw the movie before I ever read the book, but
I think
I
the
don't
thing was when I watched the movie, it was, like, around the time that I started just not being into movies anymore because 'cause I'm just not a big movie watcher in general.
really. How many Studio Ghibli movies have you watched in the last month?
Well, the Studio Ghibli has changed that. I don't think I watched any I mean, I think that's, like, the only thing I've watched over the last few years, are Studio Ghibli films
The
when it comes
book,
to movies.
the movie is more fun and exciting than the book is. The book has way more science and is scarier.
Oh, it
But
sounds like a
the
really
movie
scary
also has Mr. DNA. It's a I'm in your blood. I don't, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know what to say, sorry. I probably shouldn't have revealed that in the stream. You're right.
I wouldn't have.
Oh,
Dino DNA. It's in your blood. Oh, Mr. DNA.
I love it. So you quote the movie? That's
Spared no
fun.
expense. Yes, because yes, it's a good movie.
Yeah. I don't know, I think something happened in my brain where I watched movies up until I don't know, up until, I guess, middle school or high school, I don't remember, till I reached a certain age, and then I just decided to check out and wasn't watching movies
Joanna,
anymore.
you just need to save this for the military tribunal. Like just save it for the judge.
Oh,
Like
no.
at your court martials.
Yeah. I don't know,
Marshal.
it's not I'm yeah.
Have you seen any of the freaking Chris Pratt ones? The Jurassic World garbage
None.
ones?
I haven't seen any of
All right,
them.
well, that's good because they're garbage.
Oh, really? Okay.
Garbage. You know why they're garbage? Because in the original Jurassic Park, the children are terrified for their lives because they might die. In every Jurassic World movie, the kids are like, oh, and are not in any way afraid of their life ending. So bad. They're so bad. They're so bad. And it's got Muldoon. Clever
Muldoon.
girl.
Aw.
Okay, the Lost World book is way better than the Lost World movie. The movie is garbage. Book's way better. Oh my gosh, Kyle just said so good. This is false. Terrible. 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 It's terrible. TRBL, triple word score.
Aw.
Terrible. That's a terrible, terrible movie.
What is your favorite movie, Alan? Do you have a favorite movie of all
I'm
time?
not going to tell you, so you can't trash it.
Okay. Care Bears. Yeah.
It's not my favorite movie. My favorite movie is my three favorite movies. My four favorite movies are in no particular order. The Emperor's Club, Remember the Titans, 1776, which I was watching earlier, and the Goofy movie.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
Oh, what a surprise! What a surprise! Someone I know hasn't seen something or read something I like.
I've read so many books that you've liked. We determined this. I've read 18 books thanks to your recommendations. That's a lot.
How many of those have you read with me? It's always after the fact.
I read the Red Rising trilogy with you and Iron Gold and
Iron Gold isn't good.
no.
Either is Dark Age. Did you continue to Dark Age, or you tap out after Iron Gold?
I tapped out after Iron Gold.
Dark Age is more of the same, and everyone thinks it's so dark, and I'm like, that happened in Winter King in the first 100 pages.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's true. You do get ahead of me on books. So
What? I don't get ahead of you on books.
yeah, as far as like you read them first and then say, Joanna, when are you going to read this?
That's because
But you can't recommend
this is
something
my
that you
life.
haven't
I have
read.
to read a book. I read a book no one's heard of, and then I have to spend my life campaigning to get people I know to read it.
You're good at that.
What if people read it with me to save me the work? Because I'm one person that no one believes, because I'm prone to histrionics and I'm not popular. I'm not gonna get the feedback of the mob like all this other stuff. Though you read crap no one's heard of either, but it's always
true.
Jimmy or Philip that gets you to read it. Why not me, Joanna? Why not me?
We talked about this last time. I
Did we?
think if I added it up, I haven't done this yet, but if I think if I added up the number of books that I've read thanks to your recommendations versus Jimmy's, I think I've read
But
more
why
books.
do Philip and Jimmy just have to be like, hey, Joanna, I like this book. You should read it. And you're like, definitely. And I have to organize a blitzkrieg whirlwind multimedia, multi-year, multi-season propaganda campaign. Like, you know how many flyers I put in your freaking mailbox?
Oh,
So
God.
many.
Hey, you were invited, by the way, to the Wars of Light and Shadow read along.
I
Just
know.
reminding you that.
I know. I do
We
understand.
could be reading an 11-book series together right now. But you decided not to.
I believe my original argument was Philip is about to read an 11-book series and can't read The Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell. That is 3 books, the total pages of which is less than 2 of those books.
It's true. These books do take a long time to read. No joke.
We're done with this tag. Why are we still on the air? Why are we still on the air? Oh my gosh. Oh
Well,
my gosh. I don't even know how to deal with today. Like,
but Laura's a fan of Warlord now.
I'm gonna find when I read The Prophet of Adan to prepare for the audiobook, I'm gonna find the character in it that is the worst, and I'm gonna make it talk like you. I'm gonna do my best Joanna voice, like for the worst character in there. That's that. Just get ready. Get ready. You're gonna hear it. And you're like, oh my gosh, it sounds just like me. Oh no, this person betrays everybody, and you'll know why.
Oh,
That's right. It's good. Yeah.
I don't think there are any betrayals. Well, there might be one person who's a betrayer.
Yeah, but I'm sure I bet it's a dude, and I can't.
It is a dude.
Dang it, I can't do your voice with a dude.
That's true. You can't. The women are really nice in his series.
Not
Actually,
all.
now that I think about it, I don't think that there's a poor woman. Like, there's no female character that's evil or bad.
Kohlberga, High Priestess Kohlberga. I watched her cut that lady's wrist.
That's right. I forgot about her.
Yeah, it's because she's one of the crap high priests.
I
She's not
forgot
the
about her. Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh. So
what am I to? Oh yeah, I am on your good list. I'm on everyone's good list. It's everyone else is on my bad list.
it's true. It's true. Is there anybody on your good list? Like,
There's gotta be. Surely there's one. I mean, Anita's generally on my good list. So is Evie. So is Pete, generally. Yes, you do. And if you don't, go back and watch yesterday's episode. Who else on my good list?
what's really nice is that I get the credit for Laura reading Warlord. But you get the credit for me reading Warlord. So she kind of read it through extension of you.
Why would Joanna? Why would you throw these things in here? Why are you doing what you're doing? Like, okay, guys, here's the kind of person Joanna is. Joanna sees someone on the ground bleeding from all orifices. He is blind, deaf, mute, illiterate, paraplegic, hairless, glandless, and is dying. And Joanna's like, look at that. And she kicks him. Boom! And she kicks him. And then she takes like dirt and like rubs it in his poor sightless face and then kicks it again.
I was trying to give you credit.
No. You were trying to tell me about how Laura denies me credit.
Ah, Jenny Wirtz is in the chat. And Joanna in the crosshairs.
I'm
Beware.
afraid of Joanna. Joanna needs to be afraid of me. I ain't afraid of Joanna.
You can make me the elf. No spoilers for Edan.
To be fair, get out of here with that. No, anytime anyone says to be fair, unless it's me, they say something that is unfair and dumb. So anyway, we're done with the video.
I guess we're done. Yeah.
Everyone, we're finished with the free freak out tag. I couldn't remember what it was actually called.
We freaked out a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. For the first time, I did freak out in the mid-year freak out tag. That's true. That's true. Finally, the name of the tag matches the content.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway,
well,
yeah. Joanna's gonna. Sorry, I was about to sign off.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you do it. It's not my channel.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to thank everybody in the chat for showing up and freaking out with us and answering the questions. And thank you to Alan. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I didn't want to do it any other way. So
anytime you need to throw someone in the stocks or the pillories,
we should do this every year.
The town square, just go ahead and call me up here.
The mid-year freak out betrayal tag. So thank you all so much. If you're watching the replay, please leave us a comment, share your answers down in the comment section below. If you want to watch part 1, again, that's linked down below. And that's about it. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day or evening. Bye-bye.